Welcome to Fringe Fanatics with Chad Lee and Chris Zane.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. It is episode 103 of Fringe Fanatics. I am Chris Zane.
And I'm Chad Lee. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, thank you guys for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it as always. And this episode, we are going to get right into it with calling our guest, who is Mr. Blitz, a.k.a. Steven, who is a Cowboys YouTube content creator, does all that stuff. So we are excited to have him on. He just basically went viral for his fire the GM Jerry, which Jerry is the GM of the Cowboys. So he's basically asking him to fire himself. So let us get him on the phone and get this show on the road.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up, man? This is Chris Zane, and you've got Mr.
Chad Lee here.
That's right, man. Thanks for hopping on with us. We greatly appreciate it. What should we call you by? You have a few names you go by. What would you prefer us to call you by?
Let's go by, just call me Attitude.
Attitude.
Okay.
I like it. Attitude is here with us.
You got it.
How have things been going, man? You've been on a little bit of a rip-roaring ride the last week or so.
Yeah. I mean, something like that. But it's, if you know me personally, it's kind of my personality. I'm always like this. I don't turn it off. So it's just a matter of getting it out there, getting my personality out there, and so nothing new, man. Just me being myself.
Nice. Well, let's give the listeners a little bit of an update on what we're talking about here. So you recently went viral because. And kind of explain to us how this went about. You look like you're on a practice field of some sort.
No. So that's a star in Frisco. So the city of Frisco owns a public park, which is that artificial carpet you see there.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
That belongs to the city of Frisco. Inside that facility is the Dallas Cowboys practice there. All 12 ISD schools from Frisco play there. And then within that confine, of course, is the facility, is the star, is where they do the draft. They practice fields are inside as well. That's where the draft is held for all Cowboy fans want to go into the draft. So it's a very if you're not from the area, you usually come when you want to come to a Cowboys game, you will go visit the star, you go do a tour, all that. Very nice. I recommend it for people who haven't gone. But yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah, and so you went out there with a sign, and it said #fire, fire the GM, Jerry, something like that, right?
Yeah. So I mean, this has been going on for. It's the crazy thing is this has been going on for a long time. I think I've had it in my head right, and I'm like, well, no matter how many times I put it on Twitter, or no matter how many times I say it and casual talk to people. It never really doesn't really go anywhere. You just kind of waste energy. I'm like, hold on, I got an idea. So I grabbed my daughter's with me. We're at Walmart, and I'm gonna grab this this little white poster, got a marker, put fire the GM Jerry, and I get to the star, and I'm just to my daughter. She's 7 years old. Take a picture of Dad, and then she just starts laughing, right? And I have the sign up, and I kid you not, it is a Monday or a Tuesday. It's dead week, right? There's nothing going on. They don't play till Thursday, so it's still slow. People are watching it, and if you ever go to that area, there's some restaurants that's got rooftop bars and all that, and the people are just cheering. They're like, "Whoa, that's awesome! That's so cool!" Right? Nobody has ever done this before, right? And a lot of people are like, "Dude, I love it, bro! I love the energy, because if you know Dallas Cowboy fans, we're masochist people. We're very masochist.
What a word for it, man.
We're extremely masochist, and that's no knock to anybody who in the Cowboys and the community. But when you have an owner who goes to seven different head coaches, goes through I don't know how many different quarterbacks, 4 playoff wins since the last one, and you kind of have to think about it and say, well, hold on, what general manager would survive this long, right? And of course, the general manager that won't fire himself.
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
think at this point, you know, this off season was like really the tipping point. You have a lot of players in their prime. You got Dak in his prime. You got CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, all these guys in their prime. Still, some of them are on rookie contracts, and it's just like they really procrastinate when it comes to contracts. Like if you would have done the Dak contract when you should have done it in the off season, then we would have had money to sign other players because we had so many holes to fill, right? And you can't just replenish all these holes with draft picks because, one, that's not fair to the rookies, and two, there's a big learning curve, and three, the window's there. Like, I mean, we're still a playoff team. We're coming off 12 wins. There's no reason to throw the white flag, and we, as a community, were talking about this throughout the off season and how the owner gets away with this stuff, and people just continue to buy merchandise and go to the games and sell out the stadium. And at some point, you're just like, okay, these guys are about the brand. They're about marketing. They're about sales. They're about ticket sales. And then they're about football. And that's just like, for us, Cowboy fans, it's our way to speak, you know, and go viral. And go viral. Anybody can go and do it. It's going to go viral because everybody agrees with it.
Yeah, no, and definitely. You look at like Jerry Jones, and you got Jerry's World out there in Dallas, and everybody knows it's basically just a big spectacle. And you know, the team thankfully is good. It's not like the Raiders where they have this insane stadium and a subpar team. You guys actually do have a decent team. But yeah, it's definitely seems to be coming to a head this year with the lack of, you know, of free agent signings and such. I mean, you guys definitely missed out on Derrick Henry, who was in town looking to come and, you know, possibly join the Cowboys. That didn't end up happening. And then on Sunday night, you guys have to watch Derrick Henry just run all over the Bills. Or Monday night. I'm sorry. Monday night. I'd lost today. Monday night.
Yeah. No, he had 209 total yards. I mean, you see stuff like that and not even give the guy a call. The guy resides in Dallas. Like, give the guy a call. He, you know, just kind of show some initiative as a general manager that you actually want to win. And that's kind of where like the frustration comes, because what do we feel as Cowboy fans? We feel that the front office does not want to win. They just care about sales and sales, and they excel at that. They're really good at sales.
$9 billion franchise.
Yeah, exactly. So. But that's, I mean, if you're a fan, I don't care about, do we get any kind of, we get no shares of that. So, what, like, to us, that means nothing, right? What is being the most valuable franchise, even the most valuable franchises in the world, like Real Madrid, New York Yankees, they've all won in recent past, right? Like, that's something they all share in common. While the Dallas Cowboys are the top selling team that has no success in the past millennium.
Well, good example.
30.
Yeah, that makes such a good point, man. I mean, I can speak to this because I'm a Chiefs fan, and I would have thought that, like, during the most recent success, the value would have increased, and it has. It's gone up quite a bit. But I would have thought we're kind of close to the Cowboys. No, we're really only around, I think it's like $2.5 billion right now. And so you look at something where it's like this team's had all the success, it doesn't equate to wins. And it's like you said, it's all based on that. And let's circle back to that Derrick Henry thing. What makes things even worse is the responses that Jerry Jones has. When he says, oh, we couldn't afford Derrick Henry, the Ravens are only paying him $8 million. Yeah. Running backs don't cost that much, man. I think they can afford $8 million when you got to pay Dak Prescott, a guy that can't get out of the first round, $60 million. I'm right on your team, man.
No, you're paying not only that, but you're also paying a third string quarterback $8 million just to pull the clipboard.
That's true.
Who's at the?
That's
Trey Lance. Oh, wow, that's how much they're paying him.
He's a third round pick. That's
it's a $5 million guaranteed. So that's what he's getting paid just to hold the clipboard. He's not even in the play scheme. So,
jeez.
You know, he won't even be. And we didn't pick up his fifth option, so he's not like he's going to be a Cowboy next year. He's gone, right?
Yeah.
So, and that was a
Talk
fourth
about a
pick
bust.
that we could have used for a running back. You know, so a lot of things like that. You know, and that's one way people say, oh, it would never work. It'll never work. Trust me, people who are billionaires, they are extremely narcissistic, right? So when you do stuff like that, it's not the publicity they want, regardless if they say, oh, all publicity is good or bad. Is all publicity bad or good is good? No, that's not true. Some publicity will hurt your ego. And I have proof of that because there's videos that have gone back 11 years ago of news reporters pressing Jerry Jones saying, basically, why don't you just fire yourself as a general manager? And he says, well, I own the team. You know what I mean? So it's a very condescending response. And the guy had a valid question. He goes, "You're not winning. You don't put out winning teams out there, and you kind of always got to circle back to who's the main focal point, who's the reason that the Cowboys coach is so soft." And I will say it is, generally speaking, it's a big fan base, right?
Yeah,
it's a very country club fan base. It's a very soft fan base. There's no culture. You go to the games. I mean, you can be on third down. The opposite team is, on offense, and people are telling you to sit down because they can't see. So this is the coaches that Jerry Jones built at Jerry World. It's really just a main attraction for fans like yourself that come and take over the stadium because season ticket holders, don't even care to go to the games anymore. Just care to cash in.
Yeah, because they can make so much.
There's no culture in Dallas, and the main focal. I mean, the person you can always trace back to is the man who owns the team. And I don't mind that he owns the team. The man who's also in charge of operations and general manager, whether it's him or his son, but it's the same person.
Yeah, and they're the only ones I think in the NFL right now that have a GM owner setup like that, and clearly there's a reason for it. It doesn't work because you got to have checks and balances. Otherwise, case in point, you have Jerry making all of the decisions, and in his defense, he's like, I'm the one putting up all the money. It's my team. I should be able to do what I want. But there's a reason people pay GMs a good amount of money to come in and help build a team, because that is the thing that, like you said, they haven't been building a team over the last few years. They're trying to, plug holes and hope they can get a little bit further in the playoffs. But now you're kind of seeing it this year where it's just like, well, you've paid guys, but you don't really have the playmakers to make it worthwhile.
And you don't win championships through the draft. Like that's the thing that people say. Well, we draft really well. Well, last year we didn't draft well. Last year we swung and missed on every little pick. Well, I would say Mozzie's kind of coming through a little bit. It's taking some time, but I would say overall last year, we hit on Micah, we hit on Deron Bland, and then a couple of years prior we hit on. I don't know. The last guy was Leighton Vander Esch because that was really hasn't been a really consistent draft to say that we draft so well.
The top picks are always pretty good. CD was great, but then down the line, once you get to those later picks, there's nobody that really stands out, and that's when it really matters the most. Case in point, right. I hate to go back to it, but you got to rely on those cheap picks like Isaiah Pacheco at 7th. Granted he's hurt right now, but you look before Audric Estime got hurt for the Broncos. Getting those cheap running backs that you're paying less than $1,000 or less than $1 million, that's key. And look what the question I was going to get to a little bit later. This is what everybody feared is you pay all these guys, but then when the stars goes down, DeMarcus Lawrence is hurt right now. He's out for 6 weeks. Michael Parsons has got a sprained ankle. He's expected to miss maybe 2 weeks. Then
he's on a boot right now. He's on a scooter.
You look like a high ankle sprain, which sucks. Yeah, those are the ones that never go away.
Those can linger too. Yeah, those lingered throughout the season. So.
Yeah, you look at what Jonathan Taylor's dealing with right now. So then you got to fill those guys with next man up. But if you are paying the stars so much, the second string and third string they're going to be scrum.
Pretty much.
Well, we did pick up Henry. I don't know if you guys heard that news. We did pick up Henry, but not Derrick Henry. We actually picked up.
Which Henry?
Mark Henry?
Well, he came out of the practice squad from Cincinnati. And Cincinnati's like they can't win a game. Their defense is trash, and this guy can't make the practice. He can't make their full 53-man roster. So they're poaching off practice squads. That's just not a recipe of success, and that's just tell the fan base, hey, we don't want to win. We want to just, like I said, just be honest. Just be honest with us. We want to just sell tickets. We want to make money. And I think that it would be easier for Cowboy fans to accept, okay, our GM he has told us that. It's just people haven't accepted it. He's told us already, I don't care about winning. I care about making money.
Bottom line.
And making money with with little possible. And I don't even think, to be honest with you, I don't even think these men know how to actually GM.
Oh, of course not.
When Jerry when Jerry in the early '90s, when he got the Super Bowls, I mean, it was Jimmy Johnson doing all the GMing. It was Jimmy Johnson doing the coaching, building the culture, right? So Jerry was doing all the financials, and he even says in this documentary, he says, like, I focus on the financials, Jimmy focused on football. And then it came to a point where, of course, they were winning Super Bowls. Jerry won it, the narcissist that he is.
Yep.
Wasn't getting
that was his first mistake.
Yep.
Yep. And then, I mean, what owner in sports, in any sports in history, has fired their head coach, or whether the head coach and what owner cannot see his head coach eye to eye after winning back-to-back Super Bowls with the window of winning possibly 3 more that decade?
The only one I can think of is Jerry Krause. He wasn't an owner, but a GM that totally ruined the Bulls. He did build them, but it's a situation where those GMs or owners really let their egos get in the way. And that is the biggest blunder Jerry ever had, is when he couldn't accept that it was Jimmy that really built that whole thing. And I mean, you see it now. He had Jason Garrett there for far too long. Brings in Mike McCarthy from the get-go. I thought that was a failure because, I mean, he couldn't really ever. Yeah, he got a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers one time, but he'd been out of the league for a year. And then you look at, what's going on now. So. Well,
and also Mike McCarthy, he's more of a, it's terrible as it sounds, but he just seems more like a puppet, and I think it's still, and I'll tell you why. We get in these press conferences, you'll get the news reporters asking questions about certain players that are on the practice squad. Like this, for instance, we have Dalvin Cook on our practice squad. Well, Jerry has already addressed that he's not going to play before Mike McCarthy has even said anything. So that tells you a lot, right, about the respect. There's no respect. And those kind of things trickle down to the players. I mean, whether they say it's not true, whether they say that's not, it is. It very much is true. And I do believe there is some sort of miscommunication. There is something off, right? Because if you're a team like the Dallas Cowboys that doesn't lose at home like the year prior, and Green Bay comes into your house, your DC changes the entire scheme. We play man defense. Now we're playing zone. We're playing a lot of nickel and dime, and we get blown out, right? Like, how does that happen in sports? And it's not just last year, right? You go years prior, San Francisco, same thing, 2 years in a row. I mean, at some point, something has to give, and we all have to just point our – and the thing is, a lot of Cowboy fans do this, and a lot of people in the media outlets do this, but they all point their finger at Dak Prescott. Me, myself included, I have done it in the past because it was the easy scapegoat to put your finger at. But Dak Prescott has not been put in a position where their GM is going after, free agents that help. Right, because not everybody's a Patty Mahomes. Not everybody is a
Bo Nix.
I mean, you need Lamar Jackson, right? You got Lamar Jackson. They go and get Derrick Henry. They lose, and they replenish with top talent. Even last year, Lamar Jackson had Dalvin Cook at his disposal. I'm not saying that it really moved the needle, but they stayed competitive. And you got players like. Matthew Stafford, right? When he went to the Rams cashed in. Then when they'll get Bobby Wagner, they got Jalen Ramsey, they got all these elite players that really got them over the top and got them to the Super Bowl. Are they rebuilding today? Yeah, but they got their ring. Was it worth something? Yes, they got their ring.
Yeah, they did what they set out to do.
Correct. So, and that's the thing, fire Jerry the GM because Jerry the GM fucking sucks. He's fucking terrible at his job.
Yeah,
he's fucking terrible, and his fucking son is just as bad. And there needs to be somebody who is out, not within the organization, and needs to be somebody who is a football-minded person, somebody who is that can get the job done. Will we ever see it? No. But should fans, not just the Cowboys fans, but any fan base, our voices always should be heard. Anybody can go and.
I was just going to say that's why I commend you so much, man. I hate to interrupt, but I mean, I just think what you're doing is, in this day and age with social media, where fans anybody can tweet and stuff like that, and who knows what's going to catch fire or not. But the fact that yours kind of did, I mean, you're already like a big online personality, and it's caught so much steam. Watching that last Thursday night game, even in New Jersey, where there was fans with it, I've seen your tweets where people have shirts of it now. If it catches enough fire and he steps down, dude, we're going to have you back on, because this is something that's going to be over 30 years in the making,
Yeah.
Like this is insane. And he's got to look himself in the mirror and realize he's the one that's at fault here.
Well, also that, and it's so much. It's such a curveball for Dallas Cowboys, because can you expect this from the Philadelphia Eagle fans? Of course you can, right? It's the culture. They're more of a passionate city. The Steelers, same thing. There's a lot of fan bases that are have a lot of say of what the ownership does. Dallas is very complacent. The city of Dallas is very, Frisco's a very bougie area. This whole North Texas is a very bougie area. People take their kids to the game. There's not a lot of passion, but there are fans like myself and many others that are showing this side of Cowboy fans that people don't know. So this is why it's such a curveball. And I don't think the front office even know how to handle it. So, and I'll tell you why. I was there at the Star. I have my sign up. I'm doing a news report with a news reporter, a local news reporter. And they're like, you guys can't be here. You guys can't be protesting. I'm like, well, we're not protesting. Am I over here like marching or whatever? I'm not protesting. He goes, well, you can't be protesting nothing. You can't be holding up signs. I'm like, bro, read the sign. What does it say? Fight, and then the guy's reading it. I'm like, and second of all, you guys don't even own this. This is public park. This is from the city of Frisco. So nice trying to gaslight me.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. So I invite more Cowboy fans to go out to the Star and make your voice be heard, and let it catch fire, Let it catch fire. This is the biggest media team in the country. So is it easy to catch fire with doing stuff like this? Yeah. Use it to your advantage. It's easy.
Well, man, I do want to ask you before we let you get out here. I don't know if Chad has any more questions for you, but I did just want to ask, like, what has been, I guess, like, what has happened since this has kind of taken off for you in terms of just like, your social media presence and all that stuff? Has it just kind of skyrocketed you, or
Well,
are you still riding the wave?
You were featured on Sports Illustrated last week.
That's
dude.
what I wanted to mention. Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I mean, has it had any? Has it changed my day to day? No.
Can you retire yet?
No, not whatsoever. No.
Damn it.
This is something that I do because I enjoy doing it. I mean, I've always, I have other plans going on, right? Something I'm not going to air out today, but would I ever do something to get myself in trouble with the Cowboys? No, right? All I ask is that we show some initiative. All I ask is that we go and compete, and not just compete on the field, but come on, go compete and go grab guys that can help us win today. We have guys, like I said, we have guys in our prime now, and, if you don't take advantage of the time now, time will pass, and then we'll say, oh, well, now we got to jump in the quarterback, or now we got to go look for another wide receiver when we have the opportunity, and many missed opportunities in the past, and trading away Mari Cooper for a fourth and a fifth, and replacing him with a wide receiver that just came off an ACL tear, right? Like you could, and you had CeeDee Lamb on his rookie contract. So it's like I refuse to believe they're just fucking stupid. Like I cannot fathom the stupidity they do, right? So am I gonna keep chirping? Hell yeah, bro.
Nice.
Hell yeah. I invite many, and I invite not just Cowboys fans, but all fans of all NFL. Go make your voice heard. If go stand in front of your stadium. Go post your sign up. Let it go viral. If it goes viral, good. If not, then someday it will. Like I didn't do this with the intention of going viral. I just did it because I took my daughter with me to the Star. I don't live too far away. I took a picture. I uploaded it, and I went about my day. Did I expect this? No. Do I have other stuff coming up? Yeah, because the job's not finished. Our voice will be heard, and that's the end game. That's what I want. That's what I want all Cowboy fans to know, is that this is what I am for you. You guys can't be here. I'll be here for you. I'll hold that sign. I'll protest in silence. I won't say anything. I'll just hold the sign up. This is what I'm gonna do. I am not gonna bow down to nobody. I am not gonna surrender to nobody. You
Fight.
can gaslight me. You can do all this. It isn't gonna work because it's 30 years. I am 32 years old, and I have never seen my team successful in the playoffs. We have just been nothing but mediocrity. We've been nothing but a laughing stock to the media. Hell, I'm hated as a Cowboys fan. When I lived in California for 3 years in Santa Clara, where the Niners play, Niner fans are like, "Oh, I hate Cowboy fans." And I'm like, "Why do you hate Cowboy fans?" He's like, "Well, I hate your owner." I'm like, "Well, fuck, that ain't fucking me. That's the stupid fucking owner." So
It's not my fault,
why
man.
should I take heat for that? For him? I don't, So is it fair to us? Hell no. But it's a new era, man. It's a new era, a new wave of Cowboy fans, and this is the Great Awakening. I hope so.
Hey, you got Post Malone on your side too, man. That's cool.
It's true.
I dig that guy, man. He's awesome.
Posty.
Yep.
I gotta give it Posty. I think Posty's very buddy with Jerry. So I don't know.
Yeah, he might not like what you've got going on.
Well,
but-
what's hilarious is like when you were talking about the complacency, I almost wanted to bring that up because on his new album, he literally has a song with Morgan Wallen where the first line is, "Dallas dropped another game in overtime." It's just like the fact that he puts that into a song like it's just a regular thing is so sad, man.
I bet you, me and Post Malone could probably have a beer and just like say, "Bro, that was fucking dope. I fucking love it, but don't involve me in it."
Probably. He's like, I got a box I got to pay for, and Jerry will take it away.
Yeah.
Well, he does go to the Star and he rents out the film room. He rents out the film room to play Madden. Like, this guy is so involved.
That's
cool.
Stuff just so.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Well-
he's got the keys to the Star. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, and then he's got his Raising Cane's that's like all Cowboys themed too. So he's a big Cowboys fan. I got one more question before we get you out of here. Let's move on to next week. You guys won last Thursday night. You will be taking on the Steelers, who this is like a rematch of 1996 Super Bowl 30. Let's see. I put in a waiver claim for Justin Fields because I need a quarterback right now. Is Micah Parsons, do you think he's going to play?
No, I don't think Mike. I think Mike will be a scratch. This week.
All right. I feel good about hopefully grabbing Justin Fields then.
Yeah, unfortunately, the defense is definitely taking some hits this year.
Yeah, that's why I'm going after Justin Fields, man, because like any other year, the past 2 years, I mean, especially when Dan Quinn was there, look what he's doing with the Commanders. There's no way I would try to play anybody against that Cowboys defense, but now it's like, dude, I would start Chris against them.
Yeah, I'd probably do all right. Tear my ACL after 2 plays, but I'll get completion.
You said there's the game going back to 1996. It goes back. I think it goes back to Steel Curtain Doomsday days when, in the 70s, when Dallas Cowboys were a Jackie Smith touchdown away from winning their third at the time, and you guys won. You guys won 4 in the 70s. With Terry Bradshaw and Jack Lambert and Franco Harris and all these guys. It's such a beautiful rivalry. I've always thought that the Cowboys is cool rivals. It looks very aesthetic.
It does. It's funny you say it that way too.
Good.
Whenever I was 1996, I would have been 8 years old. I've got a very vivid memory of one of the first Super Bowls I ever watched was at my uncle's house. He was a Steelers fan, and his best friend was a Cowboys fan. And after the Steelers won, they got in this huge wrestling match afterwards, and I was like, "What is going on here?" But
this is wild.
I know it just seems like even though they come from 2 different conferences, they are kind of rivals.
There's a lot of history there. And even going back to the last game we had, last time we played at then it was Heinz Field, but when Zeke walked it off, right? It was just to me, one of the greatest games I've ever seen in my life. Also you guys are a team that has a culture. You guys have always been a competitive team. Maybe not always on top of the conference, but under Mike Tomlin, you guys have always been competitive. You guys have an identity, right? You guys have an identity. You guys are tough. You guys, run that 3-4, and you guys stick to it, right? And is it going to be easy for the Cowboys on offense? It's going to be a challenge. That's you're talking about really good outside linebackers. You have Highsmith. You got Patrick Queen now.
I think he was out last week.
I'm not sure.
I don't know if Highsmith will be back for this game. Yeah, he was out last week. That could have been why they lost to the Colts.
I think he's. Well, I haven't seen anything, but I think he's playing this game.
Yeah, I know it wasn't like
but
seemed
you-
serious.
I did like. I don't know if you guys are using him too much yet, but your rookie Peyton Wilson out of North Carolina. He's got like 15 ACL tears, but he's solid. Was solid in college. You guys picked him up. You guys have, like I said, just a very physical team. So it's a hard stretch for us. Can we pull it off? I mean, at the end of the day, they're all professional athletes. You know, they're all going to go and perform. At this point, do I have my hopes up? No, I don't.
Is it
like I
in
said,
Dallas
you don't
or
have your
Pittsburgh?
We're playing in Pittsburgh.
Ooh, that's always tough to
it's
play.
a tough crowd too.
Got to deal with the terrible
Tough crowd.
towels.
No.
You got to deal with the terrible towels, and the Cowboy fan base does travel really well, but I mean, still, you're gonna deal with a very hostile crowd. And thankfully, it's in September. In October, not in freaking December. or
It's
November.
it's fall now. It's supposed to get cold. It should be real football weather this weekend.
But nothing but good things this week, man. I'm looking forward to this game, primetime game. I hate to say it, but I do have you guys winning by, I would expect about 4 points. I would say you guys win by
Okay.
4 points, unless I see something different from my offense.
Well,
We haven't been given much as far as, much to show for yet, as of yet.
no, yeah, and Chad was so glowing of Pittsburgh, you actually thought he was a Pittsburgh fan. He is a Kansas City Chiefs fan, which is way worse than a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. They're pretty insufferable.
So none of you guys are Pittsburgh fans?
No, I was just bringing it up because of the Super Bowl. I'd just let you keep going there.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna stop him. He's on a roll.
You're like, what the fuck?
He's like, you guys, and I was like, yeah, I mean, it's fair.
It was my
own.
uncle that was the Steelers fan. I ain't the Steelers fan. He hated that I was the
Okay,
Chiefs
okay,
fan.
I apologize.
Yeah, no, you're all
You guys will
good.
be here next year.
Yeah.
The Chiefs will be here next year. They'll play at AT&T next year, so
That's
I look
true.
forward to that game as well.
Hopefully they've
Eddie
fallen
Mahomes
off a
for the
little bit,
homecoming Yeah. Man, I just really hope you guys don't get that 3 in a row because that would.
We'll
it
never,
would be the icing on the cake.
ever hear the end of it.
It's going to be
It'll
tough
be,
with
Oh,
Rasheed
I-
Rice
so
getting
bad.
hurt.
I
What's
got
up?
a question, and I bet you can ask any Cowboy fan this, and we can leave it with this. This,
All right.
this will be the why I say fire Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Fire Jerry Jones in general. Go enjoy retirement. Go enjoy your remaining life, man, with your family. If the Chiefs have won back-to-back Super Bowls, right?
Uh-huh.
And they've won 3 in the past 5 years. If you ask, from a scale of 1 to 10, if you ask 300 random people who the owner of the Chiefs is, how many of them will get it right? Out of one I mean, from
Probably
from
Very
1 to
small,
300.
maybe
I'd say,
5%.
yeah, it wouldn't be unless you
Exactly.
know football. You don't know.
Exactly, that's a culture thing. So, that's why your owner does his job. He lets the GM, and the GM does fills holes when he got you guys take Pickles down. All right, let's look at Kareem Hunt. Let's go. Let's right now you guys are in talks of getting Amari Cooper.
I know.
And
Yes.
Or
people are
Devontae
saying y'all gonna
Adams,
get
God forbid.
That's not going to happen. Y'all can just.
Hey, all they're asking
The
for is a
Raiders-
second and some compensation. So like
Well,
a player or
yeah, but
something
they
else.
won't. I doubt they'll ever. I mean, I don't know about how your rivalry is over there, but I doubt the Raiders.
That's what
will
I'm
ever
saying. That'd be
trade
like
up.
the God making a
I
deal
think
with
he's
a rival.
gonna. I think he's gonna wind up back with Papa Aaron in the Jets.
I think he
They're
might
gonna
be
have
going
some-
to the
That's
Steelers,
probably-
who we might be talking about. I think it's either the Steelers or maybe the Rams.
He's not gonna. The Steelers are the same as the Raiders. It's like
You guys are also reaching out for Amari Cooper, so
Yeah,
that's also very deadly right there.
that is the most likely one because before the season, the Browns restructured his contract to where they turned his base salary into just like a
bonus.
signing bonus.
Yeah.
Now he's only pretty much making it trade bait. So now he's only making like $600,000 right now because of the signing bonus, and so he is the leading candidate, which I would be totally fine with.
And Cooper is an excellent route runner, to match with your Xavier Worthy's blow the top off the defense guys.
Yeah.
So you guys are
and they
just,
don't
man,
need
you
much,
guys have Andy Reid.
unfortunately.
You guys
Patrick
are
Mahomes
spoiled,
is going to
man.
do it
You
with
guys are really
whoever.
spoiled. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you guys. If
Yes.
you guys don't mind, I'm going to go out and make my sign. I'll be out there again.
Hell yeah.
We'll talk again soon.
We're excited to see what's in store, man. Thanks again for coming on.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Attitude.
Appreciate it, brother. Yes, sir. You have a good one.
You
You
guys
too.
do the same, man. Have a
See
good
ya.
one.
I'm glad you corrected it. I'm like, I was gonna do it after the line, but he just kept saying like, you guys, and I was like,
I
dude.
was like, he's on a roll. I don't want to cut him off and just be like and go on it. And then finally saw a bit, and I was like, I don't know what Chad did to make you think this, but
It must be because of the uncle thing or anything. But I will not claim the Steelers as my team.
I mean, they got the same record as your team, so. No, they're 3-1 now.
I was gonna say, what are you?
I keep forgetting
about?
it. We've already traveled.
There's 2 undefeated teams: Vikings and Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, that was
Vikings.
great, dude. That was awesome, man. And it's pretty cool that we just talked to somebody where they are just like very much trending on Twitter right now. If nobody knows, we didn't really plug any of his stuff. Let me just like mention that real quick.
Oh yeah.
If you go to Attitude Era Dr. Range on Twitter, you'll see what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think it's actually his his Twitter handles at Blitz Dallas, Blitz with a Z,
Yep.
Blitz Dallas.
Either way you type that in, it's going to come up. But if you see a man holding up just a regular sign that says "Fire the GM," that's what's great. That's what's awesome about the internet nowadays. You never know. I mean, look at fucking Hawk Tua. You never know what's going to go viral. This guy just holds up a sign, but it's what everybody's thinking.
That chick's raised millions for
She has a podcast
shelters for dogs. Yeah.
For dogs?
Yeah.
Dude, Hawk Tua on that
Dude,
thing,
Hawk
man.
Tua. You know what I'm saying?
She's on to something, man.
All right, well, we have a new music break guest because it is October 1st. It is, like, officially, we are in, like, fall. It's happened. I woke up this morning, it was cold. It's chilly out. I had to put on a little sweatshirt
Yeah, it
to
was
take the
pretty
doggies
cold.
for a walk. But we are at the new month, so we need a new music break guest, and we went a little spooky, if you will.
Cool.
It is the month of All Hallows Eve.
True. It is October 1st
It is
today.
October 1st, so it is time for Halloween, whether you like it or not. I'm sure in a week or two we'll probably have Christmas shit out as we surpass Thanksgiving. 'Cause
already
nobody
out at
really
Walmart.
cares about that. But this month we do have Cobranoid out of Denver, Colorado. These gentlemen just released their self-titled album, Cobranoid, and you can find all their stuff, everything about them on their Bandcamp, which I'll give you after this, but this is off their self-titled album. The name of the song is Hyena, and take a little gander into this, why don't you? All right, ladies and gentlemen, or whoever the hell you are, you just heard Cobranoid. The name of that song was Hyena off their self-titled album, Cobranoid. If you would like to, go to their Bandcamp, which is cobranoid.bandcamp.com. There you can find all of their stuff. You can buy a digital copy of their album, or buy a compact disc if you still got a CD player, or if you're a cool kid, you can get vinyl as well, because vinyl is making a comeback.
Oh yeah, big time.
So yes, thank you to Cobranoid. We will be playing a couple more tunes off of their self-titled album as the month rolls on. But it is time right now to mention our sponsor of the show,
SDR Collectibles.
Yes, SDR Collectibles, your go-to spot for anything Funko Pop, sports trading cards, any sort of thing collectible-wise. SDR is your go-to stop for those things, and they will have a show coming up. It is next year. It's a little ways out, but
you can still hit them up on social media.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll be putting a graphic up, and you go to that on Facebook and just message them and ask them if you got a Ken Griffey card, or he's got Jamar Chase, he's got Josh Allen,
Bo Nix rookie. It's gonna be worth a lot of money. I think he averaged like 3 yards a pass this last weekend.
You sure it wasn't minus 3 yards?
No, dude. Just kidding. Asshole.
But he probably does have a Bo Nix card. He's getting some wins, man.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter how you do it. But yes, go check out.
He's probably got it. They've got Legos. They've got it all.
Yes, go check out SDR Collectibles online, whether that be Facebook, Instagram, wherever. They will be posting stuff that they have on the regular, so go check them out. We appreciate their contribution greatly.
Yes, thank you very much.
And if anybody else wants to contribute to the show, by all means, you can go to our Linktree and donate to us directly, because money.
Or get at us, and we'll figure out a sponsorship kind of arrangement.
Yeah.
Add time. And then we'll go on from there. Just hit us up.
Yes, indeed. But it is that time for us to get to the rest of the show.
We're going to pretty much
start
from the beginning of the show. So, Chris, how was your weekend last week?
My weekend was pretty laid back. Watched a lot of college football on Saturday.
And some badass games.
Yes, watched a little bit of the UFC Fight Night as well. There's a couple interesting storylines there.
Very much so.
Elena Perez, people thought she was about to die, and then she came out and kicked ass, so that was cool.
Nice.
Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that. Was she the one that twerked afterwards?
She was the one that twerked afterwards, but when she weighed in, people literally thought she was about to die. Like, she was like shaking. And
it could be because
of the way
it
was all put on, but she had to drop a lot of weight.
Well, did you see the post where there was a fighter that was really criticizing France for basically their athletic commission by how much they were tested over there? They wanted to draw blood, they wanted urine, they wanted
hair
lot of
follicles,
stuff. Yeah,
toenails.
Yes, pull your lip out. I don't know.
They want skin off your weenus.
It was very weird. And then what made it even better was Moicano. I can't. What's his name? Man, can't remember his first name. But he took on France's best fighter, Benoit Saint Denis,
the butcher.
Yeah, and comes through there and just mauls him. Then gets on the mic, criticizes his government, criticizes France's government, then criticizes their prime minister or president, whatever they have, Macron.
Renato Moicano.
Renato, thank you.
Yeah.
Just completely destroyed Saint Denis, who was, a really good fighter.
That was that, like, French, like, what was he, like, special forces?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he was.
Dominated him. Immediately after dominating, stands up and just walks around, just double finger flipping off the crowd.
Yeah. I really doubt, and after hearing more and more about how things went there, I bet Dana is going to wait a long time before he goes back to France.
You heard about what was happened at and we'll get back on our weekends, but at the Sphere, Dana said it might be a while before they have something back in Vegas because of how that went. And I wasn't entirely sure what that was all about. I don't know if it was the athletic commission or what, but something didn't go well, and he was pretty pissed off about it, but who knows.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Other than that, though, back to my weekend, we started watching the Iceman Chronicles, which I might have told you about at work.
Oh, yeah. No, you told me about it here, I think.
Yeah, you should definitely check it out. We started watching those. Meryl didn't know anything about the guy really, and we started checking it out. And it is wild that the guy just basically, his family thought he was just going to work.
Yep.
And then he would just be murdering tons of people.
He was a hitman.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's like the most prolific mafia hitman. We also watched, have you watched the Terrifier movies? There's 3 of them.
Sheila has told me about it. She said they're pretty good.
We watched the majority of the first one. I did fall asleep towards the end.
She said it was really gory, and Hannah doesn't like that, so
It's gory, but like
the
we
brakes
watched
on
the
it.
first one, and like they do try to be a little over the top gory, but it
Yeah.
is very like B almost C
Yeah.
in the movie.
And
And we want to watch the other ones, but I've just seen that guy's face so much. I was like, I want to watch at least
Yeah.
one of them. Because he does look like a creepy, like quintessential horror character.
like a clown, right? Is
Yeah,
that
he's
what he
like
is?
black and white clown and like
Mhm.
crazy, like his slits are all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty entertaining. She doesn't like gory stuff. I mean, there's like it's super cheesy, but there's like a point where he's stabbing a guy in the face like
Jeez.
multiple times.
And see, that's just it. It's like I have a really hard time with B horror movie. I need like excellent, like long legs horror.
Long legs. I like that.
Yes, long legs. I
legs.
told you about that horror movie.
Oh
Yeah, that was.
I thought you were using that as like a descriptor. You're
No.
like, I need
Like,
a
that's
good,
the top.
I need a good long legs horror movie.
The
and I'm
Witch,
like, what the fuck is that?
Hereditary movies like that, like
Yeah.
psychological
No,
thrillers
okay,
and stuff.
that's
Those
fair.
are good.
I do like some of the like the cheesy ones, like a good Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Those are funny.
Classic.
Yeah,
But yeah,
you got to have some silly.
a couple silly campy stuff. But other than that, I'm trying to think what else we started watching. There's been so much shit. We are trying to like start rolling. We want to watch Idle Hands. We're
Oh
trying to track
man,
that
damn
down.
dude, that's a classic.
Classic.
Yep.
I mean, that started my like crush on Shannon Elizabeth as a child.
Oh wow, yeah, I forgot she was in that. There's a bunch
Yeah.
of the old '90s characters in
Seth
it.
Green, yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, it's that
That's a
time.
fun
it's
movie.
that time, dude. You gotta start watching all the horror
Oh,
flicks.
we've been watching a lot of it.
Yeah, you gotta do all that. So that was fun.
We watched Scary Movie the other day.
Oh,
Dude, oh my god,
couldn't make that
cracks
movie
me up.
again.
Oh, never, dude. Oh, it's so great, man. The Wayans brothers are just geniuses.
yeah. I did mention though, and I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it, but last week I did say that there was some things changing. Chad and I are no longer coworkers, unfortunately. I have moved on. Me and my brother Jeremy kissed and made up after like 10 years of not having talked. Worked through a whole bunch of stuff over some brews and a Thursday night football game like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. And I am going back to the family business. I will be a junior estimator moving forward, starting to learn the ropes in the office. So no more shoveling asphalt, just bidding jobs for other people to shovel it, unfortunately. But
Sweet.
onward and upwards. But I did want to mention that nothing's going to change on the show. We're still going to be streaming at 5:30 on the regular until we can figure out if I can move that down a little bit after a while. But until then, everything is remaining the same. Not much is changing, but I just wanted to throw that out there.
Cool.
But
Oh, yeah.
on to you, Mr. Chadley. How was your weekend?
It was a really good time. On Friday night, we ordered a lot of Chinese food. We went really crazy on it, man. This Yum Fusion over here, we ordered like $76 worth of Chinese food.
And you were still hungry afterward. Ate all of it, still hungry 30
About
minutes
30
later.
minutes later, I was. Dude. I got sushi, got the Szechuan chicken. I got the Szechuan chicken, normally comes spicy anyway.
Yeah,
But
you extra spicy.
I got extra spicy, and that was probably a mistake. It was like eating fire.
I think they love when a white guy comes in
Oh, yeah.
and is like, I want it hot. And then
they're
they're
like,
like,
"Okay."
I'm about to ruin your life.
Sure.
Yeah. I've done that with sesame chicken before. There was a place in Fort Lupton, and I had asked for it extra hot, and sometimes I'm like, this is...
Yeah, spicy. I love sesame chicken too. Sesame chicken's really good. I've gotten that there too.
Yeah, but I was just thinking about it the other day. I was like, man, I haven't had... a good Chinese food in a little
Dude,
bit.
Yum Fusion, they're so
Yum
good.
Fusion.
There.
I
Yeah,
might have
that's
to
where
try
we go. But yeah, we just did that. We hung out, played some cards. Saturday we just kind of chilled. I don't remember quite what we did. I watched the Georgia Alabama game, but we'll get to that later. But Sunday I got to see STS9 because that was the makeup show. So
Yeah.
we went up there. That was a really good time. Man, there was, God damn it, of course, when it comes to it, there was something I was going to mention about it. It was pretty nuts because...
lasers.
Yeah, they never really bring out lasers, so that was really cool. If you remember me talking about Gabe, the one that the whole STS9 community helped fly him out there, I got to meet him, gave him some stickers. He
Nice.
had a blast. This was what was really cool. So they did 4 sets, right? They normally do 2. So they started at 5:30.
How long is a set?
A set's 45 minutes or something like that.
Did they take an intermission?
They took about 20, 30-minute intermissions in between each one.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
but
dude,
one
screw
of them,
that.
they have this song Kamoy, and they have a percussion solo in between. So during the second set, we all see, and we were like pretty close. We were row 10. And then so we all see this drum set getting set up right behind like the sound like board,
Yeah,
like in
it's
the
out there
middle of it.
yeah.
Well, we're like, what are they doing that for? Well, this song Kamoy with this percussion solo, they're playing it, and then all of a sudden, the percussionist is up in the middle of the stands playing that solo, and then a minute later, there comes the drummer Zach, and he's on the drum set drumming. And then by like the next 3 minutes, I don't know how they got up there so fast. There must be like a secret tunnel under there.
I think there is.
Yeah, but they played like a full 10-minute kind of like song in the middle of everybody. There's video of them playing, and people are right next to them.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, it was one of the coolest things I got to ever witness. They've been playing at Red Rocks since like 1999. They've been playing there that long every single year. That's never happened before. They just give so much to their fans. They've really posted a lot about Gabe on their official social media and stuff like that, just because they really appreciate what the community's done for it. Got another sick-ass poster. I'm really excited about
Nice.
that. So it was a really great time. She flew back. She is a trooper. She drove me up there. She was the babysitter, let me get a little all buzzed and everything. Then the next morning, she flies out to Vegas and then does her work thing, kicks ass at her job. So it was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yep,
Well, that sounds like a rip-roaring time.
it
if
sure
I've ever
was.
heard
Had the
one.
day off yesterday. Got the yard mowed. I did get rid of a wasp problem.
You got a little nest?
Dude, the little patio area just out there was a wasp nest that was like this fucking big.
Oh,
And
dude, I meant to tell you about that. I think I forgot. So
When
I
you
feel
were
like
out
an
there?
asshole. It was like 2 weeks ago. I saw it, and it was like this big.
yeah, and
I
it just
thought
kept
it was
growing.
already dead. And then,
Dude,
yeah.
every time I went, but that's what's nuts is like they never really bother us that much, and then you see how many flowers we have out there. That's why. But like, I hate to like kill their home, but I'm like, we got dogs. I don't want them to get stung or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I like totally beekeeper, like wrapped up in a hoodie, like had a face mask on and everything like that, and then just took care of it. And now there's no wasp problem.
Nothing.
Set up the rest of the Halloween decorations while she was gone yesterday. So.
Nice. Did you ever get your ghost built?
Yes, I did, but I was pretty disappointed because it is so windy out here that it just kind of like blew over. It's just we get so much wind out here. I still
That's
have
a
it,
bummer.
and on Halloween night I'll just put it out. So that's the plan.
It's a Halloween night
Yep,
decoration.
but that was pretty much it, man. That was I think my 12th time seeing STS9.
That's cool, man. You're like a STS9 head.
Yeah, but man, when you see and meet some other people there, I feel like such a rookie. They're like, "This is my 87th show," and I'm like, "God damn, dude." I mean, they've been playing. Yeah, I think it was like 99, 98 when they first started.
That's crazy.
Yep,
Well, people are passionate about things.
It's
and
awesome.
We're passionate about sports.
and we are, and we're gonna get
time.
to it.
Yeah, it's time to get into the sports. We've got your headlines coming at you right now.
Headlines! Get your headlines here!
What in the wide world of sports is going on
Nice.
Yes,
Good
what
one.
in the wide world of sports is going on here? Well, we've got a lot going on. There's been, a crazy week 4 in the NFL. We've got WNBA playoffs. We've got, NCAA games that are nuts. We've got MLB playoff action. We got the wild card games happening right now. Well, one of them at least. I think we've had 3 others today. I think this is the
Yep.
last one.
The Royals won earlier, which was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, Royals won. What was it?
1-0.
1-0.
Yeah, low-scoring game, but Reagan's pitched a hell of a game, got the win.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff going on, but we are going to get into the NFL first. So let's do it.
Are you ready for some football?
Are you ready?
It's football, bro. Happens.
Give him the business.
Don't be giving him no business. All right. Well, there isn't a lot in terms of like breaking news in the NFL, so to speak. I mean, Davante Adams, we mentioned earlier, could be on the move as the Raiders come out and say that he wants a trade, and they are basically willing, bless you, child, to get rid of him for a second-round pick. Plus, bless you, child, again, something else. So is that a later round pick? Is that a player? We'll see. But Davante Adams wants out. I mentioned earlier, I think he's going to end up back with Papa Aaron. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. Chiefs have been mentioned. There's a bunch of teams that need wide receiver help. So we'll see how that goes.
Yep.
Do you want to mention, speaking of wide receiver help, as we just mentioned the Chiefs?
That's why we need Davante.
Rashee Rice.
Big injury there. Unfortunately, Mahomes tried to do too much, threw an interception, and then on the ensuing tackle, accidentally hurt Rashee Rice. Horrible, man. It looks like it's probably going to be a torn ACL. Really sucks. He's having a great year, but it's not what we needed. But
Definitely a bummer.
You know, we won a Super Bowl with Marquez Valdez-Scantling and Juju Smith-Schuster. So I know with how good our defense is right now, we have held opponents under 28 points for 25 straight games. I say we because I have been calling the defenses from home.
He has.
Spags hits me up. It's okay. No
They've
big
got
deal.
a text
Not humble
chain.
brag.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that is, you know, we're relying on our defense right now. So, you know, as long as we can get somebody in there, like we were talking about with attitude, we probably will get Amari Cooper. I'd say that's probably the most likely.
It does seem to be the most logical thing. But, you know.
I think Little Man's trying to get us to go to Daily Dogs.
Oh, man. You gotta go record him right now. But one more thing, though. Von Miller is suspended.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing this up.
4 games for violating the conduct policy. This stems from the 2023 situation where he was arrested for, I guess, a domestic dispute between him and his pregnant wife. It did get dropped to a misdemeanor, but nonetheless, the NFL don't mess with that. So 4 games, we'll see. I'm sure he's probably going to try and get that dropped down to maybe 2, but given his past, I doubt it. You know.
What do you mean? When did he get in trouble in the past?
He was suspended 8 games for smoking weed his second year.
What? I forgot about that.
Second domestic thing. The other one, I don't think he got charged with. So I wouldn't be surprised.
I was not aware of all this. I know you're way more familiar with him.
Yeah, I have a feeling that they're just going to leave it as is. 4 games, It is what it is. And he was unfortunately playing pretty well considering his age.
Oh man, yeah.
He had 2 sacks in not last night's game, but.
Yeah,
I think it was last week's game. Well, yeah, he had 2 sacks.
I don't know about the Lamar Jackson one, but I know against the Jaguars, I mean, he was tearing that game up.
So, bummer for the Bills as they lose a really good rotational pass rusher. Like I said, he's old. He's in his 30s. I think he's 33 right now.
He's been playing really good.
Been playing really well, but yeah, it's a big hit for a team that just got shellacked on Monday Night Football last night.
Yeah.
So, we will see. Was that last night? No, that's
Sunday night.
I've got the 2 games on Monday night just really throws me for a loop.
Well, I'd say your new schedule is really throwing it off too, probably.
Yeah, probably. I'm not doing anything right now. Yeah. I don't know what day it is. But yes, so let's move into the Daily Dogs.
I'm excited about this one.
That's right. It's time for the Daily Dogs. Those dogs aren't very... We need to get our own dogs barking, but I do like the...
Daily.
Nice.
So,
Not bad.
I enjoy it. It could use some work. But anyways, it is time for the Daily Dogs. We're going to let Chad take the take the lead on this one.
I am more than happy to do this because I'm going to start with the quarterback that everybody's talking about, and he is a dog. Jaden Daniels, who's breaking records, not just rookie records, but just overall NFL history book
Straight
records.
up records.
First QB to span 4 games and have a completion percentage over 82%. That is ridiculous. If you're a quarterback in the NFL and you have a game, just one game of 67%, it's pretty good. If you're in class and you get a 67%,
it's a D.
You
but
are
you're
not
still
doing
passing.
well. Yeah,
you know?
you're still passing. But in the NFL, that's doing pretty decent. But this guy's throwing it like 82%. The other night, 2 games ago, he threw against the Bengals in week 3. He went 21 for 23. It's nuts. But what I'm highlighting is his win at Phoenix against the Cardinals. I guess it's Glendale they play at, but whatever.
Phoenix.
Yep. Went 26 for 30. 233 yards, 1 touchdown. He had 1 interception, but it had a 96 QB rating. Let's get into some EPAs or some insights here. Let's see. So he was incredibly efficient against the Cardinals, completing 26 of 30, like I said. Has generated an 8.7 CPOE this season, which basically means like his success rate is just through the roof. Qualified rookie through 4 weeks since Dak Prescott in 2016. I mean, this guy's just, his scramble rate is insane. I've got another one here for that.
Tell us the scramble rate.
Yep. Leads all quarterbacks with the highest scramble rate of 18.4%, so he's running more than anybody else, but his success at it is better than anybody else. He has 179 yards of scrambles through 179 scramble yards through 4 weeks. It's just insane. Like, watching this guy, he's incredibly accurate. He knows when to run. He knows how to slide, unlike Anthony Richardson. And they've only punted. Here's the another like record that I think they've, as a team, they've broken. They've only punted 3 times in 4 weeks.
Yeah, I think he has less incompletions in 19 than he does scoring drives of 23. Basically, every time he touches the ball, he scores.
It's
whether it's 3 points or a touchdown.
Unbelievable how good. And to me, even more so than the Chiefs, objectively. I mean, I always choose the Chiefs, but objectively, they are the most entertaining team to watch right now.
They are. It's surprising. The Commanders, also known as the Washington football team, also known as, the Redskins. I can say that. But yeah, it is surprising because we all thought that they were going to be, everybody's like, Jaden Daniels, he's like the 3rd quarterback off, or no, he's the 4th, right? Or no, he was second. Then Drake May. Sorry, I mixed those 2 up. So he was the 2nd off, and everybody said, he won the Heisman, but he's not the best quarterback coming out. And now looking, he's pretty much the best quarterback as of right now coming out of the draft.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it.
With Caleb Williams and everything, it's pretty crazy that Jaden Daniels in Washington is looking like the biggest, most electrifying quarterback to come out of this draft at this moment.
I mean, I saw something where, if you remember this kind of thing that was a little viral on draft night, Caleb Williams, the Bears took a punter in that draft. I think he was from Australia or something like that.
Yeah.
And he texted him and said, "Don't worry, man, you're not going to be punting much." And then I saw a stat heading into week 4.
He's punting the most.
He had, out of the 16 drives the Bears had, he'd punted 11 of them.
Yeah, no,
so,
cool.
not a...
Way to go, Caleb.
Totally
you lied.
wrong, man.
You lied to him.
Yep. But Jaden Daniels on the other part, he is one of my dogs because he's playing out of his mind right now.
Daily.
That's right. All right, let's go into Mr. Derrick Henry, as he is the gentleman that I picked. Derrick Henry, last week I gave it to his offensive line, technically, but this week I am giving it to him as he totaled 24 carries for 199 yards and a touchdown, including 119 rushing yards over what was expected, the 3rd most in a game by any rusher since 2018. He faced a light box on 9 of his 24 carries where he totaled 110 yards and a touchdown. He also had a long of, I believe, 89 yards, if I'm not mistaken, if that's what it was. But yeah, he is looking legit. And at 30 years old, it is crazy to see him. I believe the only other person in the last few years to have as many, Tyreek Hill has the most. It's like 73 plays where he averaged 20 miles per hour. Derrick Henry is the second most.
Wow.
It's way under. I want to say it's like in the 20s or something, but still totally insane. The guy took over the game. He was one of those guys we talked about. I want to say the first year he was like on an all vegetarian diet. Meanwhile, he's like the biggest, most shredded dude on the field, and he's stayed pretty healthy. He did have that ankle last year, which kind of slowed him down, but as of right now, I think the last 2 games in fantasy, he's gotten almost 30 points.
Yeah.
He is dominating, and that 1-2 punch of Lamar and Derrick Henry, and even Justice Hill coming out of the backfield.
Oh, he had 77 yards receiving, too.
Yeah, and I think it was like 5 or 6 receptions that he caught. So, yeah, it's going to be tough to beat that team.
They're playing really good right now.
They're playing really good. They don't have to throw the ball, and that's the scary thing. That's always been kind of the hitch for Lamar, is he's not the best thrower of the ball at times, but he can get it done when he needs to. But hell, if you don't need him to run, then what do you know?
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty tough to beat them, but they've still got to go through the Bills, who looked pretty rough as they got shellacked 35-10.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Bills will bounce back. But yeah, it's still the Chiefs. So the Ravens got a long way to go, but they are looking pretty tough so far.
It was a good bounce back game because they have been known to get really up on teams, but their fourth quarter and how many they've lead the league in most games where they've given up a 10-point lead over like the last 4 or 5 years, I think, and it's by a big measure as well. But Lamar criticized his coach for that, so let's put our foot on the gas, and they did.
Yeah.
They really just kept giving it to the Bills, and I loved it. It was like, because everybody kept talking about how good the Bills were. They beat the Jags, they beat the Cardinals, and they beat Miami without Tua. So I'm not too impressed with that. So I think this is a good sign because, Josh Allen's really good, but that Bills defense is not what people think it really is.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my daily dog.
Yeah,
right
he deserves
there.
it, man. That dude is scary.
Yeah, he is.
Daily.
But it is now your turn to get to the next one. You got 2. We got 2.
We're
So
gonna
take
shift
it to
things
us.
up here, and this is a guy we know we've been doing this for all NFL players, but I saw something I've never seen before, and I have to give it out to somebody in college. He's only 17 as well. Mr. Ryan Williams, a wide receiver for Alabama. This guy, I saw this highlight, and I was
crazy.
watching this game. It was probably one of the most exciting games I've seen maybe since the last time I watched a Georgia-Alabama game, which was
I've gotta
last
go
year in
pee.
the playoff.
I'll be right back.
I'll keep going because I could rant about this for a while.
I'll
This
go back and join in.
So the reason why he's playing in college at 17 is because in high school he went up a grade, and then after he lost the state championship, went straight to Alabama, and you can see why at such a young age, he's already playing in the league. Last week against second-ranked Georgia, he had 6 receptions for 177 yards, 1 TD, and 1 long reception of 75 yards. And that one, you guys need to look this up. And the reason I wanted to even step out of the NFL and give it to this dude is because I saw a juke spin move that I've never seen before. This dude catches the ball. He's got 2 guys chasing him down who are kind of angling like they're going to catch him. And with like some sixth sense that he knows they're close to him, he stops on a dime and spins around and does this like juke move where he like and one mixtapes, looks at them and says, "Oh, you ain't catching me." Spins back around, scores the touchdown. Coolest thing I've ever seen. Oh my God. It was like filthier than a bunch of nuns hanging out at a biker bar in North Dakota. I swear, everybody needs to go look this up. This kid is going to be a star. If he plays another year at Alabama and has as much success, he's going to be a top 3 pick. I would not doubt it one bit. Ryan Williams has all the faith in like DeBoer DeBoo. Yeah, the new coach at Alabama. I put my money on Alabama to win that game. Totally worked out because Jalen Milroe, he's cooking right now. And this kid, Ryan Williams, I mean, how fast he is and having juke moves like that, I've never seen anything like it. To juke somebody out and then stare at them while they're just like breaking ankles, it's nasty.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, 17 years old. He has been the face of Alabama football right now. He basically said in that crazy play you mentioned while I was in the bathroom that spin move, he was in slow motion. That's what he said it felt like.
That's a great way to put it, too. Yeah. Because I've just, everybody kind of spins, but to kind of do it and then just, like, look at somebody. I've been trying to think of the best analogy for this. It reminds me of Steph Curry, when Steph Curry gets past the ball, 3-point line, somebody goes to guard him, fakes him out, and then just does that sidestep, looks at them while they're falling down, and then drains a three. Yeah. It's just the equivalent, man. You don't get to do that in football too much because you got to take off and run. But this kid was just like in the Matrix.
Yeah, no. I am thoroughly impressed. He might end up being the youngest NFL player ever if he ends up coming out this year. I don't know if it's possible.
I think he would have to play another year.
Yeah, do you have to go to?
I'm pretty sure he has to be.
Because I thought if you redshirted, that's how it had to be, but he ain't redshirt and he's playing, so yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Needless to say, it was a hell of a game. I mean, you look at the first half, I was like, this game's over, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, they're about to tie this game up.
Georgia storms back, they take the lead, and then in one play, Alabama comes back. And then takes the lead. I mean,
that was it.
Oh, wow. Super exciting. I love when these two teams play. It's great.
It is really good football, and it's super fun to watch because, I mean, you basically are watching like two JV NFL teams play.
Pretty much,
so, but yeah, that is Chad's Daily Dog.
Yep. All right, let's hear your second one.
All right, my second one is fairly current because it happened last night.
Mr.
And
Perfect.
That is Mr. Perfect, Mr. Jared Goff, who completed every pass he threw in the Lions' 42-29 win over the Seahawks, finishing 18 for 18, 21.9% over what his expected completion percentage was going to be. But the odds of Goff completing all 18 passes based on the completion probability of each attempt, 1 in 145 chances.
I heard that this morning. I'm glad you brought that up.
0.69% chance that he would do this. His 21.9 completion percentage over expected is the highest mark in any game of his career. He was super productive on play action, 12 for 12 for 229 yards and a touchdown. On dropbacks over 2.5 seconds, he was 15 for 15 for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. Against the blitz, 8 for 8, 203 yards and a touchdown. Goff also added, might we add, not the Philly special, it's the Motor City special.
Yeah.
He added the Motor City special as Amon-Ra St. Brown throws a little pass to Mr. Jared Goff.
A pretty one at that, man.
He dropped it in. I mean, that linebacker almost got it. He almost swatted it.
He put it right on his hip. I mean, I could not believe it.
Goff had a little oil in them hips, man. He was moving for Jared Goff's, sake. But
he gets a receiving TD.
Yeah, got a receiving TD. Looking really good. Shit, I just pulled something up. Where the hell did it go? Oh no. Oh, here it is. Jared Goff set the single game NFL record for most passing yards, 292, and attempts, 18 without an incompletion. The previous record for most passing yards, Frank Filchok, 179 in 1939. The previous record for most attempts, Kurt Warner went 10 for 10 in 2005. That was the last time it happened. Wow. It's really hard to be that perfect. And also, the Lions set another record. The only time an NFL team has had 2 players throw a touchdown and catch a touchdown in a game.
Oh, that's cool.
Number 1, the Lions, Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown. 2016, Blake Bortles, Marquise Lee. 85 Bears, Jim McMahon, Walter Payton. 84 Lions, they're on there twice.
Wow.
Danielson and Jones. The 43 Packers. So it does not happen often. I wanted to bring it up a little bit too when Steven was on, or Attitude or Blitz, whatever you want to call him. He has multiple monikers, so whatever you want to call him, I'm sure he'll answer to it. But he mentioned the trade between between the Rams and Detroit, and I think that is got to be like the best trade overall. Like when you look at what each team got, how it like transpired, like it's gotta be up there in terms of like working the best for both sides, which nobody really thought. I mean, Goff was basically just fucking take him. Yeah, we can't do anything with him, and then he gets Detroit their first playoff win, and they're looking like they could very well be in the NFC Championship game again. So.
Yeah, and then after that playoff win too, I believe it was Dan Campbell that said in the locker room when he handed the game ball to Jared Goff, "Good enough for Detroit."
He was a little bummed, though. He forgot about Jared Goff and did not give him the game ball.
Yeah, for this game, yeah.
That run by David Montgomery.
Oh, man.
Insane.
Dude, nuts.
But
hit stick.
Kenneth Walker III,
man,
the double somersault. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Insane.
That was like
I've never seen anything.
That was like a wrestling
before,
move, man. It reminded me straight up of wrestling.
Yeah, the guy basically like kind of like suplex somersaulted him, and then he reversed it back forward, rolled out of it.
Every
Insane.
high school coach is going to use that and say, play to the whistle, because he didn't touch the ground, so he could just keep going. It was amazing.
That is awesome.
Well, that's a good dog to have, man. That's a good pick. Jared Goff played really well last night.
That's going to do it for the
Daily.
That's right. That's going to do it for Daily Dogs. We don't got nothing more in the NFL. Where do you want to go next, Chad?
Let's go to Hard in the Paint. We're going to breeze through this. We'll just mention real quick, NBA preseason's come back.
Wait.
Okay.
I got a new thing for you. You need to hear it, okay?
Right side to Scott. Slam dunk. 4 seconds. 3 seconds left. Why are they not fouling? Jumper Murray.
Nice. Reminds me of NBA Jam.
81-point game. Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed the second greatest scoring performance in NBA history.
Is that Kobe's?
Yeah.
89.
Come on. I'm burning.
Hell yeah. That's a good one,
to
man.
throw everything in there.
Yeah,
you know?
good mashup. I dig it, man.
And we can always fuck with it.
I
but yeah,
like
I
it.
really like I did so it's the Murray jumper to beat the Lakers in game 2. I had the right before he's counting it down was he's heating up.
Yep.
And then he hits it, and then he's on fire.
Fuck yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Oh, that was good.
It is time for Hard in the Paint. The NBA season is back, man. It's happening in the United Arab Emirates.
Yeah, they got the money to
They
ship
always
these guys over there.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the Nuggets are taking on the Celtics Friday night. Let's just give a quick rundown. So yes, Friday night, I'm sorry. It is 10 a.m. on Friday.
Yeah.
So it is a very early game. 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, mind you. Then you have in New Zealand. Oh, wait. No, Utah is playing New Zealand? Whoa, okay. At 7 p.m. New Zealand at Utah, and then Minnesota versus the Lakers. That is going to be your Friday matchups. Saturday, you've got Golden State at the Clippers, who have a new logo, apparently, which is weird.
Or maybe because they're going to the new arena.
Yeah, there's a new logo for the
There
Clippers.
was some big news, though.
Nobody told us that.
Carl Anthony Towns got traded to the Knicks, and then who got shipped off to the Wolves?
Who got shipped off to the Wolves? That would be
not OG.
No, OG. Well, wait, hold on a second. It was
Julius Randle.
Julius Randle. I'm trying to think of who else. Oh,
Yeah, it
wait.
was like
So Knicks trade Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, and a first-round pick from Detroit in exchange for Cat. And New York's projected starting 5 now is Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Karl Anthony Towns. This trade's weird to me. It's very weird.
Yeah.
I feel like
I'm not sure how he
Minnesota
fits
got worse.
Yeah.
I feel like the Nuggets' path to the Western Conference Finals just got a little bit easier.
I think so, too.
Cat was a big problem for them because the Nuggets were never big enough when Cat was on the floor to deal with it.
It wasn't Gobert that was really hard for Jokic.
No, Gobert gets eaten up by Jokic every single time they play, and he keeps it. Brother, I've got 40 points. You know what I mean? It's happened before.
Julius Randle cannot stay healthy. He is always hurt.
Yeah, this trade to me looked like, I mean, the first round pick for Minnesota, obviously that's going to be a nice thing to have. But yeah, this one was weird to me, man. The Knicks got better, and to me, with Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, I don't really see how Minnesota got better.
I mean, I will argue Dante DiVincenzo's point, or like
he's a good shooter, but
he
he's
is a really
backup.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't
man,
call
when
him a
he's
starter.
He was playing a lot of minutes for the Knicks, and he had one of the best 3-point percentage in the NBA last year.
Yeah.
So that does make it a little scary.
We'll see, though. There's going to be a lot to come to that, but I mean, Karl Anthony Towns said he had no idea. He found out when it happened.
And there's a clear reason why the Knicks are doing this, because the Celtics have Porzingis. They need size to go up against the Celtics, and getting Karl Anthony Towns will certainly help with that.
Yeah, definitely. But they are... yeah, we'll see. I mean, that was a weird one to me, but it doesn't matter what I think because I don't matter technically. So we'll see how it plays out. But let's go into. Do you want to go NCAA?
NCAA? Oh yeah, let's do it.
I need a little bit of a.
We already covered the Alabama game, so we just need to cover the CU game.
Needle dick. Needle dick. Needle dick.
Yeah, I need a cool college football one. Now that I'm starting to put these all together, I'm like, the one long soundbite's nice, but it's cooler when it's a little more tailored for us. But, yes, I think, and I said this last week, but...
yeah, and I want to concede as well, because...
Hot take.
Yeah.
That's a hot take.
Travis Hunter is your Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah.
I don't know who could take it from him at this point.
Jalen Milroe could, definitely.
Yeah, and the only reason that I think he would, and it's stupid because quarterbacks is so much based off of wins, but when you are Alabama, you're guaranteed wins to a certain degree.
Well, not so much that, but they think it's because of the competition. You know, CU's beating UCF. They just beat Georgia. You know, that's the
true,
big
and they're
difference.
now ranked number 1.
Yeah.
So you've definitely got that.
But I
working
believe
against
in
you.
Vegas's odds, I think Travis Hunter is second.
He's got to be.
Yeah.
And I think when you actually look at the scope of work, I think they're going to have to give it to him unless Jalen Milroe just goes insane the rest of the year.
If Alabama goes undefeated the rest of the year, it would be tough not to give it to Jalen Milroe. But just looking at Travis Hunter's stats right now for just this season, he's got 46 receptions, 561 yards, 6 TDs, averaging 12.2 yards per catch. That's on offense. On defense, I don't have those numbers here because he plays two ways. But, I mean, like last week, he had 1 interception, he had 2 pass breakups, and the week before that, in the overtime game, he caused the fumble. I mean, this guy is lighting up college football. He made Paul, the mouth of the South, Feinbaum, eat his words and eat crow on First Take.
Yeah, he did. And then, like, even just on college, or I think it was college football. It was Fox College Football. I don't know what they call their college football morning show. But they had Urban Meyer and Brandon Marshall, former Broncos receiver and Chicago receiver. This is what they said before the game on Saturday. Urban Meyer, I don't know if Travis Hunter is going to be able to handle this heat. Brandon Marshall, take Travis Hunter out of Florida and it's no problem. This is real deal, so it's really going to affect him today. Travis Hunter's just stats for Saturday night or Saturday afternoon: 128 snaps, 9 catches, 89 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 tackles, 1 pass defense, and 1 interception.
Yeah.
Dude's doing everything.
And he's just doing everything, dominated on both sides of the ball. He's the most electric player in college football right now.
Yeah. And CU, I think, made a statement because going into that game at kickoff, they were 13.5-point underdogs. and they end up winning by what 20 something.
Yeah, my landlord was telling me they were 12.5, and he was telling me, and I was like, damn, I'm going to put the money on the spread, and I really wish I would have, because he was going into how like UCF hadn't beat anybody. I mean, one of their wins was against
They did
James
beat TCU this year,
TCU
but
is
they're
really
not
bad
the
this year.
same as they were
Yeah.
when they won it. So.
No, yeah. One of them, the other one was like Monroe or something like that.
James Monroe.
Yeah, James Monroe. They hadn't beat anybody good, and so he was like, I think they're going to cover that 12.5, and I wish I would
Blew it out of the water.
Yeah.
One quick thing, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but Texas gets their first SEC win over Mississippi State this year. Arch Manning, 26 of 31, 325 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Quinn Ewers is, I think, supposed to be healthy this week.
Yeah, I think he's.
How do you go to Quinn Ewers again?
I don't know, man. Because
When we're talking about when he started the year was the Heisman favorite.
Yeah,
So
I think
it's
you
crazy.
go back to Quinn Ewers. I mean, Quinn Ewers has so much experience. I think when it comes down to these really tough games, when it gets to later in the year with the SEC, like against Louisiana, or if they have to play Alabama, I'm not sure about their schedule, but I think that's when you have Quinn Ewers in there. Arch Manning's great, but I mean, Quinn Ewers, he ain't no
he's
scrub either.
Yeah,
He's good.
Grizzled.
Yep.
A grizzled veteran in the college football world, so to speak.
But we got to fly through the rest of this.
Let's do it.
Let's touch on UFC real quick.
Okay, hold on one second
we'll finish
while I
off
hit
with
it.
some
While I hit it.
baseball. All right.
Let's get it on.
This weekend we have UFC 307, and I believe it's in Utah.
Utah.
Yeah, Alex Pereira versus Khalil Roundtree for the light heavyweight title. We looked it up beforehand, and right now Pereira is at a minus 560 favorite odds, and then Roundtree's at plus 370. So
Yeah.
heavy favorite for Alex. I think that's the easy pick there. Khalil, he's got a lot of knockout power. It's just so tough to bet against Pereira. He's got this secret way of checking kicks that is like causing a lot of storm in the fight world on how he's doing it. Everybody's talking about it, but nobody can really touch him, and he's just so deadly when he's in there. Another one, the co-main event, is Raquel Pennington from Colorado Springs.
Here we go.
The champion will take on Juliana Pena, the former champion. This is a lot of this. When I was watching UFC Countdown yesterday, this is kind of cool because it brings up a lot of history between these two, where I didn't realize it, but they fought in the Ultimate Fighter like 10 years ago.
Oh,
and yeah, Pena beat Raquel Pennington, but 10 years later, now Raquel is the champion, and she will be taking on Pena. I'm not sure on the odds there, but
the odds are fairly close.
I would
we
imagine
got
so.
Raquel Pennington at minus 170 and Pena plus 140. So
Yeah.
other than that, I mean, the only other real fight is this Kayla Harrison.
oh man, the rest of the card's awesome. I really wanted to kind of
Aldo,
just touch
I feel
on
like
this.
is getting there. You know what I mean?
But
though?
he's won his last few.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's the
He's
thing.
not favored in this fight.
No, but that's why he's kind of still in the main event and on the main card, because despite, he was a legend, and a lot of people can even put him into the GOAT conversation. I think it was at featherweight, or maybe it was bantamweight, but I mean, that guy, Jose Aldo, I mean, he total legend. Still been winning, and that's why he's on this main card taking on Batista. And then before that, I don't know who this lady is, her first name, but she's taking on Kayla Harrison, who is a total killer. She's come in from PFL.
Yeah, she was like the big, I guess, free agent acquisition, if you will, in terms of the UFC. How
What they
acquire
wanted
people.
to do was make that super fight with her and Amanda Nunes, and there is still talk that Amanda Nunes could come back. But Kayla Harrison, I mean, she is just so strong. I don't really know much about this Vieira girl, but I would put my money on Kayla Harrison for sure.
Yeah, and I don't know if you heard this story, but Kayla Harrison has come out and kind of bitched about the UFC and their testing, or just whoever's doing the testing, as she has been tested 10 times this year already. So she's not sure why, but she thinks it's because of her kind of skipping a line to get, better matchups and people being, like, she's pretty dominant because there's a reason why she's there. So definitely an interesting kind of storyline to follow. But
to kick the main card off, you got Kevin Holland versus Tulodalas. I'm not sure how you say it. Yeah, something like that. But Kevin Holland's always got exciting fights. And then on the last fight of the prelims is a really good one. Guy that's been fighting in the UFC a long time, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, one of the best kickboxers in the UFC, will be taking on Joaquin Buckley. This guy's really famous because he's got that really viral knockout where someone caught his kick and he did this like
jump
roundhouse
kick, yeah.
back kick and knocked somebody out. It was really cool. But he is fighting Joaquin Buckley, and that should be a really good one. Two really famous strikers. So pay attention to that one.
Looking forward to it.
I think that's pretty much about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too much else I don't think we can cover, but I mean, I'm sure we could go way deeper into it, but we're not going to because we have other stuff to do, and that is the MLB because it's happening. Playoffs are here. We've got the wild card happening all day today, and we've got updates. So let's get into some MLB.
Vaughn, a juvenile delinquent in the offseason in his major league debut.
Gonna light your ass up, meat.
Vaughn into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Yes, he tried the corner and missed, and we are not missing on our wild card coverage as we are going to get right into it right now. The American League Wild Card Series. We've got the best of 3 series featuring the Detroit Tigers, who I believe like 4 or 5 months ago had like a 10% chance of making the playoffs.
They have been on
and
a roll.
Here we go. I think they won like 30 of 40 to end the season.
Yep.
Something insane. The Detroit Tigers, though, win Game 1 of the 3-game series against the Astros, 3-1. Game 2 is going to be a Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. our time. Figure that out for yourselves when that is for your time. But let's move on to the next one, and that's Mr. Chad Lee's favorite team right now.
Yep, Kansas City Royals. They won, like we mentioned earlier, 1-0 against Baltimore Orioles, who just finished just under the New York Yankees this year. So the Orioles at 91-71 to finish the season had a really good year. But the Royals, they went on a 7-game slump just like a couple weeks ago, but were able to catch the 5 seed. So,
yeah.
Yep, it's a good start to this series. They just need to get one more win, and they'll move on.
Yes.
Yep.
Time to go into the National League as we had one game just wrap up, and the second game is starting now. We have the New York Mets at the Milwaukee Brewers.
That makes 3 away teams.
Yeah.
2 wins so far, and even to start off this new one. Well, I'll finish up this one, and then I'll get to the next one.
So this one, when I got here, the Brewers were leading 3-2. That was about 4:00, and now the game ended, and the Mets win 8-4. Game 2 is Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Tune in. That one, I think the Mets are gonna lose the next one, but that's really gonna put some pressure on Game 3. Chad, take us into the next one.
All right, we got the Braves at San Diego Padres. The Braves just got done with the doubleheader yesterday too. And that was from Hurricane Helene, where they had to make up some rainouts, but they sneak into the playoffs. And right now it just started, so it's 0-0. The Padres just survived, and they left 2 guys on, or the Braves left 2 guys on base, so not a good start, but
damn it.
Yeah, we need the Braves to do a little bit better. But yeah, it is pretty nuts. Out of these first 4 games of the wild card out of today, 3 of the road teams have won.
Yeah, it just goes to show you it don't matter when it comes down to the playoffs.
It's about momentum.
Any given day in baseball.
It's
not
true.
even given Sunday. It's any given day.
Yeah, that's right.
But let's just kind of give a quick brief I guess prelude to what could be coming in terms of the division series in the American League. The Cleveland Guardians will be taking on the winner of the Tigers and Astros. That game is more than likely going to be Saturday, October 5th. Moving into the other divisional series in the American League, the Yankees will be taking on the winners of the Royals or the Orioles. Both of those teams sound a lot alike when you say them back to back. Royals and the Orioles. There's that weird Royal.
Then give me some Oreos.
And I'll take a side of Oreos. Royals. But yes, Chad, go ahead and run down that divisional series in the National League.
You got it. All right, so
right
the
now.
winner of the Mets and Brewers will take on the Phillies, and then the winner of the Braves and Padres will take on the Dodgers.
The Dodgers, which hopefully they spend all that money and still lose.
That would be great.
But more than likely that won't happen. So that is going to bring us to the end of the episode, where each and every week... actually, I did want to play this before we get into this. So one quick thing. Did you see this interaction between Ocho Cinco and Deion Sanders?
Yeah, I heard about it.
It's pretty funny. I want to play it real quick.
And the kind of teacher I am, I don't do it by with words. I put the cleats on and actually show. So I come out there, I route Travis' ass up, and then I lock him up.
Talking about Travis Hunter.
But what if I get mad that you routed Travis up and I put my cleats on?
You can't do no 8 toes, man.
See what I'm saying? I knew you was going to say that. I set you up for that. I ain't think you was going to take the bait. Y'all ain't no good. Y'all, you know what? Bye. I'm done.
That's good.
And then he actually hangs up on him. So that was on the Nightcap with Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco, which apparently I need to tune into more because they've covered some pretty hilarious shit. I mean, they handled Shannon Sharp's little accidental live video pretty well, considering.
Just pretty much blew over.
Yeah, dude, that's one way to handle it. You just joke about it and then move on. And everybody's like, cool.
He's still on first take and everything
nothing
like that.
changed. But so I just wanted to play that because I meant to talk about it earlier during the college stuff, but it made me laugh quite a bit.
Oh, that was pretty good.
And that's not the only time. Anytime Shannon Sharp's been around Deion Sanders, the foot jokes come out in droves, and it's like Deion's like, "You guys ain't no good, man." But let's time to get into it. The man, the myth, the legend himself. He's the reasons we have the Daily Dogs, the Daily Dose of Excellence. Mr. John Daly is about to hit it hard, man.
I hit it hard, man. So far, man.
Far.
No laying up, no holding back. Ain't afraid of nothing.
It's a natural fact.
Hit it long, man.
Long.
Till it's gone, man.
Gone.
Keep taking chances, living large.
Hit it hard. That's right. We missed it in the MLB, but we did lose 2 greats yesterday. Mr. Pete Rose passed away at the age of 83. And that is a very sad one. I made a little bit of a joke about it kind of in our little group text about how it would be the MLB, like the perfect way to put the end on the back and forth would be to allow him in now that he's died. Because I think his biggest thing, and even if you watch that documentary, Charlie Hustle, he wanted to get in before he died. Mm-hmm. And that's over with now. And it's almost like a little bit of a slap in the face to be like, yeah, we let you in.
Yeah.
But not until you died, which is fucked up. But nonetheless, he was the greatest hitter in baseball, and hats off to him. But the real one that sucked, and it happened before, was Mr. Dikembe Mutombo. And I did not know this. Did you know what his full name is, Chad?
No.
I'm gonna read it to you right now. So Dikembe Mutombo, Impalando Mukamba Jean Jacques Wamatumbo.
Wow. That is a super long name.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 names. Dikembe Mutombo, Impalando Mukamba Jean Jacques Wamatumbo.
You would need an extra paper.
Yeah.
Like DMV.
He was one of the greats in terms of defensive basketball players. He was nicknamed Mount Mutombo for his defensive prowess. He was regarded as one of the greatest shot blockers of all times. Being a Nuggets fan, we grew up with the finger wag and the not in my house. And it was very sad to hear that at the age of 58, he passed away from a battle with brain cancer. Yeah. The 7'2" giant did so much just outside of basketball. I mean, this was a guy who came up from the Congo, moved here at age 21 to play with the Georgetown Hoyas before being drafted by the Nuggets with the 4th overall pick in the 1991 NBA draft. Ends up playing with 4 teams, goes to the finals twice with the Sixers and the Nets in 2003. Defensive Player of the Year award 4 times, tied with Ben Wallace and Rudy Gobert for the most. Led the NBA in block shots 3 times, led the league in rebounds twice, and was named to 8 All-Star teams. He was inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in 2015. But that's just the basketball stuff. And I'm going to let Chad tell you about what he did off the court that I think is what will continue to be his legacy for many, many, many years to come.
He was a huge philanthropist, did so much charity, helped out so many people, as a lot of sports celebrities should when you're in that opportunity, and he really excelled at that role. So I found something. It said 17 years ago, Mutombo opened the Biamba Marie Mutombo Hospital in honor of his mother after making a $15 million donation to provide health care to those in need in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. The hospital has since treated over 1 million people.
That's crazy, man.
I mean, talk about a gift that keeps on giving. That's just incredible. I mean, how much help and to make it in honor of your mom, it's amazing.
Yeah, which is super cool. He's also been a longtime supporter of the Special Olympics and a member of the Special Olympics International Board of Directors, as well as a global ambassador, pioneer of unified sports. He played in the Unity Cup in South Africa before the 2010 World Cup quarterfinal. He's done so many things that it's just like... He's done more off the court than he has done on the court, but what he did on the court, I mean, it pales in comparison to what some people could only hope to dream once they make it to the NBA. So, hats off to him, man.
True legend on and off the court.
Yeah.
We will surely miss him. It's always the good ones that are taken.
Yeah, too soon indeed. And death comes in groups, and we've had a few this week, so it's a bummer. But nonetheless, he will be remembered for all the good things he did. And on that note, we are out of here. Episode 103 is over with.
I think we should end it by saying, not today.
Not in my house.
No. It was a great time, but I love you, buddy.
Love you too, man.
Love you guys. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for tuning in each and every week. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow. Hit that subscribe button and hit the notifications next to it. Ring that bell. Bing!
Yeah. Hey, we need 7 more subscribers on YouTube to hit 100. Go out there. Tell your friends. Tell your aunts. Tell your uncles. Tell your kids.
Make it happen. We love you guys. Toodles!